Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome back to my first fish tank. Thanks for stopping by. We are going to start this video at the very end. In a second, I'm going to take you into the other room and show you the finished hard plumbing job for the SCA 120-gallon PNP system, and then the rest of the video will show you how I got there. If you are interested in doing this yourself and you're wondering what products I used and where I got them from, just scroll down. I'll have links to everything, including like the hard-to-find unions and the fittings, the reef-safe, waterproof paint, etc., etc. So scroll down. If you would like to get these videos a week before everybody else, just go to myfirstfishtank.com and become a member. It's free. You'll get access to the members only tab, which is where I post these a week before everybody else. Do me a favor, subscribe and hit notifications right down below, because I post a new video every single Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But if you want a more live update, then what you can do is follow me on Instagram at myfirstfishtank. I usually post twice a day. Okay, let me get out of the way, show you the hard work. I think it turned out really, really well. And then the rest of the video, you'll see how it was made. Happy reefing, everybody. Your standard is going to just be your purple primer and your regular clear PVC. I've already wasted 2 of the 3 nicer bulkheads I bought. But let me show you what my problem was. So when you're attaching PVC to PVC or PVC to ABS, you know, it goes in a certain amount. So if you look in there, you see that little ledge right there? That's how far it goes in. On almost every single one, it goes in 1 inch to 1 1/8. So I was cutting all of these pieces here, and I was cutting them 2 1/4 or 2 3/8. Well, so I used the ones that were 2 1/4, and what I did is I dry fit them, and then I put it into the coupling to dry fit, and I pushed it in really hard, and everything seemed to work fine. Then I went and I put the glue on everything, and guess what happened? It went in further than it should have. This is the bulk reef supply coupling right here. Check this out. It's 1 1/4. So I needed to cut 2 1/2 inches, not 2 1/4 inches. Note to self, measure your bulkheads and your couplings. You know, it would have been one thing to just ruin a coupling, because I can pick these up anywhere, but you can't find bulkheads anywhere. I came up with a diagram, nothing special. I wanted to make this a little easier on myself rather than having to just sit here and test it out. So what I did is I turned this and I put it on the ground. This is pretty accurate. It's probably within 1/4 inch. It's good enough to help me dry fit everything. I've never hard plumbed an aquarium before, and the only reason I tell you all that is that if you're a beginner, you too can hard plumb a system. This is the 1/2 inch lock line the tank came with. Teflon tape, threaded thing, like you can see that it's threaded. Schedule 40 PVC, 1 inch and the 3/4 inch, 45-degree elbows. Any of these really nice pieces are from supplyhouse.com. True union ball valves, but they also have double unions, so you can easily remove them. Unions, as you can see here, I bought 1 white union before I realized, oh, I could just get the Schedule 80 union. So I have different size unions. Tees, hopefully have extras of everything. Here are my remaining bulkheads that I haven't destroyed. Spears gate valve. This is my PVC pipe cutter, works really well. Plastic hanger straps. I think this is gonna look really good. I bought some paints, see that? I bought a red, a gray, and a black. So I'm gonna try to make all the elbows, all of the tees, I'm gonna try to make them match this gray. And then I'm gonna try to spray paint all the PVC that I can this kind of red color. This is really bad fumes, but it's raining outside, so I'm just gonna do these 3 and then open up the windows. So you're supposed to hold it for 30 seconds, pretty tight. As this sets, the PVC actually expands, which can push it out. These are ABS to PVC. I need the green one. How green that is, oh my god. I cleaned the inside of the bulkhead glass in here. I did it first just with a wet rag, and then I used the isopropyl alcohol. Just make sure when you're installing the bulkhead that you put the rubber ring on the wet side. And don't over tighten, everyone tells me. Tighten it by hand and then get out pliers and give it 1/4 to 1/2 more turn. Anything more, you could hurt the bulkhead and you could crack the glass. Gonna fit pretty good if you look. I think overall the return looks pretty good actually, but my one issue has to do with the pump. The way I have it situated and the way I want it situated is this direction. There's a space of like that much, so I think I might need to twist this one and kind of grab this and tilt it out just a tiny bit. I think that should work. I marked everything up. Okay, that looks pretty dang good actually. And having all these couplings in here is gonna mean that I'll be able to take this piece right here and this piece and just kind of adjust it this way or that way. That looks pretty amazing. Time to paint this. So my original plan was to paint all of the elbows a dark gray color, use the Schedule 40 PVC pipe, paint that red, but the more I look at it, it's gonna be a huge pain. This one's gonna have more red, so I could possibly paint this part red, but I think I'm just gonna make my life easier and just tape off all of the Schedule 80 stuff and then use this and paint it all gray. I don't think this one is safe for water, so I'm only gonna use this in the areas that will be dry. Everything you see here will be dry. And everything that is gonna be wet, I'm gonna use the Krylon Fusion, which is supposed to be safe for water. So a little bit of a mistake here. The thing about the primer is it will take paint off like it's nobody's business. So it's no big deal. You know, I have this glued now and I'm gonna wait for the glue to dry and then I will just do another coat over. I painted the first coat and second coat on this side because the back side, as you see, has a bunch of drips on it. All you're ever gonna see is this side. It's not bad. A little bit bleed over, but it's gray on gray, so you don't really notice it. These are slip. Everything is slip, and one of my Instagram followers pointed out this union won't fit through the bulkhead hole, so if I ever have to replace the bulkhead, I'm gonna have to cut right here, here, here. I need to add the PVC straps to make sure it's supported well. But before I put everything in, I'm gonna check every single union and valve to make sure the O-rings are in place. It came with the plumbing to soft plumb it, 1/2 inch lock lines, and I was going to replace these with 3/4 inch. But then I didn't measure, and the 3/4 inch doesn't fit in the pre-drilled acrylic hole here. So I changed it to a Herbie overflow system. So what that means is you can see this is the primary overflow, This is the emergency. And then I put 7 inches of difference between the emergency and the primary overflow. I wanted to upgrade to a PVC Schedule 80 bulkhead, but the openings aren't big enough. On the emergency side, I messed it up a little bit. You see how I have to have these two 45-degree elbows? What I should have done is just plumb this out a little bit longer, and then it could come straight down. This is just below the level of the glass, so that if the emergency is engaged, it should make some loud splashing noises. I can close this off, and then close off this as well, so that I can just basically recirculate water through. Your unions, you want to be able to go righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so that it makes it easy. So they're all pointing the correct directions. I did use straps. You'll notice I used some PVC straps here, here, and right up here. To there's another union here, and then this black goes down, and let me point down real quick. I put a 45-degree elbow on it, but I made this go about 1.5 inches below the water line. All of this is 1 inch that you're looking at, except for the manifold. The manifold goes down to 3/4 inch because I figured I didn't need more than 3/4 inch. I mean, that'll put through plenty of flow. I think up to 1,000 gallons an hour. I'm just using the stock pump that it comes with right now, which is about 1,000 gallons per hour. I will replace this to a DC pump. You can see I put a union right down by the pump, so I can just unscrew the union, clean the pump, and then I use some of the green flexible tubing that came with the SCA tank. And that's primarily just to reduce noise. And I put this valve over here because I live in a really hot climate and I'm worried that this summer I may need to install a chiller. This valve controls the entire manifold on this side. I built in 3 valves onto this manifold. This first one basically is pointed down into what I'm going to use as the refugium. So this will be the carbon reactor. This is literally here just so that I can recirculate the water. I think it turned out really well. Overall, I'm really happy with it. If you guys have any questions about how to do this, just let me know, because honestly, this, like I said, this is my first time. So if I can do it and I don't have any plumbing experience, you can do it as well. This is everything I have left over. My original plan was just to do a Herbie and hard plumb this. So I did add quite a bit. Don't forget we post a new video to YouTube every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so subscribe by clicking right here. If you'd like to build your first saltwater aquarium and or get these videos 1 week before everybody else, go to myfirstfishtank.com. The link should be right here. Follow us on Instagram at myfirstfishtank, and why don't you check out this video? It's probably all right. Happy reefing, everybody.